Welcome to Yoga with Marycarmen. Cat and cow pose is one of my favorite yoga poses. It usually happens in the beginning of almost every yoga flow. And that's because it's to warm up the spine and also it tones your abdominal muscles. But there's so many things we can talk about that pose, so many little details. So let me show you how to do it right. Let's begin. And here we are in cat and cow. So the way we're going to begin this pose is by going into our fours. So first thing is placing the knees down on the mat, directly underneath your hips. And the top of the feet needs to come down. So make sure that the spacing between the knees is also matching the spacing between your hips. That's how you want to make sure that the knees are directly underneath the hips. In other words, avoid this or looking something like this from the side. Okay, so knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders and the elbows. So make sure that you have a straight line shooting from the shoulder all the way down. One tip that I like to offer to my students here is to take the index finger and place it down, directly moving forward or looking forward to your yoga mat. And then all the other fingers spread wide. Try to keep that palm flat on the floor, and the base of your palm, that's where your wrist is resting, is directly underneath your elbow and your shoulder. So this is how you want to find that nice strong base on your arm. So everything's stacked and protected. We're going to do that same thing on the other arm. So take your time to find that spot to where it feels nice and firm. So then from here we start. This is called tabletop, by the way. This is the pose in between cat and cow. It's like a neutral pose. And then we begin the cow pose. So we just drop the belly, have a small tilt of our lower spine outward. At the same time, the shoulders start moving back slightly. And I also like to point out here that there should be a small bend on the elbows, just a small bend on the elbows. Remember, just like the legs, we never want to lock on those arms. And this small bend on the elbows allows for the shoulder blades to meet in the back. You want to close that gap as you're allowing your chest to move forward. A good idea here is to elevate that head and allow for the front of your neck to stretch. So this is called cow pose. That arch on your spine is opening, and then we're going to exhale, and as we exhale we go the opposite direction. And I'm moving very slowly so you can see. I'm going to tuck my chin, and then the tilt on my back, I'm going to move it in now as I'm pressing the hands and pressing my knees and the top of the feet down on the earth, finding that navel shooting up to the sky. So what does that mean? I hear that a lot in classes. It means that belly button is trying to reach the spine. And then this is cat pose. So again, on the inhale, you open, slowly allow for the tilt on your lower spine to happen. The shoulders moving back, you're starting to look up. That belly is hanging, literally. And then on the exhale, you contract. You literally pull the abdominals in, press the hands, and really find those arms long and straight as you're pressing on the top of your back or your middle spine up into the sky. Your chin is touching your chest if you can get there, and your legs are active, my glutes are active, my feet are active. And again, inhale. So then you find this rhythm here, and this is how you straighten up your spine. You release tension on the spine, exhale. And with this pose or this flow, cat and cow, you're also toning your abdominal muscles. And let's find that neutral spine from here. And then from here, I wanted to point out at two more things. One is on the knees. Some people have issues with the knees on the mat, even though it's a nice cushioning mat. You can do something different to protect your knees from that if you're having those issues, is by just folding the mat as many times as you need to and then place your knees there. And again, following the principles I just showed you, knees under the hips, top of the feet down. And then another thing I wanted to point out is on the hands. Some people have wrist issues. So for this pose, we put a lot of pressure on our wrist. And one tip I would like to offer for those people that have that situation going is by having a fist down and making sure that the knuckles are down and that you're completely flat as you're trying to open this up into your cow pose and into your cat pose. See if you can notice my wrist is straight, so I'm not letting the wrist to just tilt or anything. Okay, so this is another option for those people that have wrist issues. You can go here and here, and that is your cat and cow pose. I hope you liked it and that you practice this pose. Is a very basic pose of yoga, and it's almost in all of the yoga flows, usually at the very beginning of practice. Thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe.